The Last of Us was commonly cited as the best video game of all time, and sure, I agreed it was definitely on the list, but it wasn't until The Last of Us Part 2 emotionally ruined me and spawned an obsession with the franchise that continues to financially ruin me that I loved it as much as everyone else. Last of Us means everything to me, so despite initially being against this TV show, I haven't been able to contain my excitement this past week, and I'm going to be doing a weekly spoiler-filled review as all 9 episodes come out. I'm not in the unscripted shed this week, I'm just in my room because I kinda can't be bothered. I'm not really too enthusiastic about this episode. But as always, this is a super low effort video. If this is the first video of mine you're watching, please watch something else. And also if you want to listen to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, just search Pelliculazy and it will be there. Yeah, I think I might stop doing these, because this episode was just like a solid 2.5 out of 5, you know, and I don't, typically give things a numerical value anymore, but this was just like so down the line that it's just like, yeah, it was fine. Like most things are a 2.5, it wasn't bad, it wasn't good. It was just okay, it was fine. Yeah, so let's just go through my notes. Got a lot less notes this time, which hopefully means I can get to bed quicker. My first note being, remember observation from last week. So pretty much last week after I'd uploaded the video and I was in bed, I just finished watching another episode of BoJack, and I realized that because they made episode 3, like the award bait gay tragedy episode, which by the way, easily the best episode yet, and I knew it would go back downhill after that. It made me kind of wonder, are we just gonna get the same thing with Left Behind, which I think is gonna be episode 7? I mean, they might do it completely non-linear with that episode, like the game is, whereas with episode 3 it wasn't. It was just kind of one big flashback, because obviously, like, that's another gay tragedy, and I was just like, is that episode just gonna be the exact same as the Bill and Frank episode, but instead of 2 old gay men, it's 2 young gay girls? So that's going to be interesting when we get to that. Hopefully that will be a good one. Yeah, hopefully it won't end with Ellie reading another letter that just explains the whole point of the film. Anyway, onto this episode. I wrote the joke book in all caps, but not as good, obviously, because it's not the game. And yeah, that's the main reason why I'm thinking of just not continuing with this series of videos. Is 1, they're not fun to make because they're incredibly low effort, and the whole reason why I like making these videos is the editing process. 2, don't really care that much for the show, and then 3, I'm just gonna continuously be saying it's not as good as the game. It's just gonna be me it's just gonna be me doing that for another 5 weeks. So, but yeah, I don't know, the way they introduced it at first, I mean, I like how it came back at the end, and I did listen to the podcast episode this week, unlike last week, and I like the way they kind of explained how that kind of bookends the episode, which, yeah, but I don't know, just the way she pulls it out at the beginning felt a bit too much fan servicey. I don't know, I think that's just me being a dick though. But yeah, obviously it wasn't as good as the game, because my next note is actually so annoying how bad Bella's voice can be at times, but how believable her FEs always are. A lot of lines of dialogue, Bella's voice just sounds off, just doesn't sound believable, but yet Bella's facial expressions are always are, and it's just so annoying. It's like, how are you so good at one, but the other thing you're not? Come on, man. Oh yeah, next note, we got the porno mag joke word for word, because obviously I had a feeling that maybe we wouldn't get it. Obviously not as good as the game, because the line delivery by Ashley Johnson is just better. God, I hate this. I hate that I'm fucking criticizing Bella constantly every week. Next note is the bit where Ellie says, serious question, and it's like, you dick. That was good. I believe that. Yeah, that was quite funny. I like that. Oh yeah, we got the match cut joke as well. I knew we'd definitely get that, because that's just the sort of thing, like, why would you cut out? Yeah, my next note is, and now they did explain this on the podcast, that, like, she's not crying because, like, oh, this is wrong. She's crying because, like, oh, I actually feel sorry for him, which I know I shouldn't. And, like, so, yeah, and that makes sense, but I don't know, I just felt like Ellie wouldn't cry at that either way. But anyway, like, what this whole show is doing differently to the game is making things more obvious and less subtle. So I like how they made it really clear that Joel is a bad person, because a lot of dumb gamers played the game and was like, oh, Joel is such a badass, and it's like, dude, what? But yeah, and like it's got the thing of like from part 2 where like they say the guy's name and it's like, whoa, maybe I should have empathy for people because other people are like me, they are a person. That's crazy. What a shocking revelation I've just had. So yeah, that was quite nice. I like that element to it, obviously. But yeah, I'm sure there will still be someone who misinterprets it as badass. But I doubt it. I feel like the people who hate part 2 are like are definitely only hate watching it now, especially after episode 3, because there was too much gay. My next note, music placement on the gun grip scene felt out of place. I just felt like it just didn't feel right. It didn't fit the scene for me. Oh, it's not, my next note is it's nice to see Melanie Linsky getting work. I knew she was in it, obviously, because of the trailer, but, you know, very overlooked actor, I'd say. So now it's cool that she's probably just gonna be in this uber successful show and people will be like, yeah, I actually always loved her. She's actually really good and cool, actually. And it's like, oh yeah, I bet you haven't even seen, I don't feel at home in this world anymore, or whatever that film was called. I bet you haven't even seen But I'm a Cheerleader. I bet you haven't even seen all the others. I bet you haven't even seen Last of Us episode 4. Oh yeah, and then it gets to the bit which I didn't realize listening to the podcast, and they were like, yeah, that's Jeffrey Pierce who plays Tommy in the game, and in here he's just some random right-hand man. I was like, what the fuck? But anyway, yeah, so there's that scene of like the ground, you know, rumbling and moving. Where the ground is like all broken and shit just looks so huge. I was like, are they doing the Rat King from part 2? Which, like, if they are, that's so fucking weird. Why would they do that? They haven't even given us a bloater yet, which we know is gonna happen because it's in the trailer. And then in, you know, the coming next week little preview, we see the bloater, and so I'm pretty sure it is just a bloater, which I feel like they're making a really big deal out of. I don't know, I guess it was kind of a big deal when it first showed up at the school in the game, but with like the kind of like ominous, like they're not even showing it, making it seem like it's a much bigger deal than it is. And it's just like, you know, having played both games twice, it's just like, I've got so many of those fuckers. Yeah, I don't know, because in the podcast they were talking about how for people who have like played the game 100 times, which I haven't, but because of my love for part 2, it kind of, you know, is ingrained into my brain, that even for those people, they're still making it edge of your seat television by like changing certain things. But for me, it's just not, because I still know the main story beats. So I know, you know, we're still gonna have the same outcome, we're still gonna have the same everything, but it's just got this slight expansion on it. And sometimes the expansion is bad, and sometimes the expansion is really great. And here with, you know, just kind of giving I guess antagonist a bigger role, yeah, you should do that in a video, in a TV show. You know, it's fine. And then we have the been on both sides line from the game as well. You know, I did the thing where like I said it as he said it. Pro gamer moment right there. But yeah, once again, the same criticism that I'm gonna have in every fucking episode. You know, like dialogue that happens during gameplay is just gonna feel more, you know, because obviously there's also the line of like, did you kill innocent people? And I just feel like the close up on his face after that was just a bit too long. It's like, we know he did. It's so obvious he did. I don't know, I just feel like, because obviously with gameplay dialogue, it's obviously always going to be more subtle, because there's the fact that you could just ignore it, because like, oh, I want to kill people, I don't care about story. Yeah, I don't know, I've always been a sucker for minimalist storytelling. You know, I rewatched After Sun, fucking watched that for the 5th time last night, and that is just one of the best fucking films I've ever seen, because like the game, like After Sun the game. Last of Us game, it's like so subtle, and just I feel like when you're taking dialogue that happens during gameplay, but then, you know, forcing us to make it be the only thing we're focusing on, it's gonna be more like, hey, guys, are you paying attention? Are you getting this? I don't think you're getting, I don't know, you know, maybe I'm just finding things to dislike about it. But then if that was the case, I wouldn't still be watching this at 2 AM. I'd be doing something else. Like, I really wanted to rewatch Short Term 12, which before Everything Everywhere All at Once came out, I said was like my favorite film of all time, and I haven't seen that in like 4 fucking years. I wanted to rewatch it, but I wouldn't have had time because it would have gone into Last of Us. And yeah, I'm still wanting to watch it. But yeah, I also feel like,
tell the others to search the area.
I don't know.
Make sure he's the only one
I don't
that
like
got
this.
out. Watch out for
I'm gonna keep watching it, but I think just making these videos,
I find out
because
anyone
I need
helped
something
him.
to
You're
say,
going in
and
the
there's
fucking
obviously
pool.
going to be far more negative than positive, that it's just making me
was
say
acting
all
up
the
for a while.
negatives, which isn't
This
nice.
is the third
Anyway,
this
my
month.
next note
Ready
is,
to put more people on the
yes.
gate?
It's so
People on the gate
nice
need to do
seeing
their
them
fucking
laugh.
jobs.
Can't
Go
wait
look
until
around.
Abby fucking
Wanna
kills
know
him.
things.
I really hope Abby shows up. I'm gonna lose my shit when Abby shows up because I love Abby so much and I just want to see her. And then 2, oh, it will make the incels so angry. It will make the people who hate part 2 so angry, and that will make me so happy. And then my next note, watching the coming next week, I wrote, are they still doing the suburbs next ep? Because unless I missed it, it didn't look like they were going to the suburbs. Unless that's going to be episode 6. Then I feel like they'd be with Sam and Henry too long? No, I don't know. So it's episode 4, yeah, okay. No, 2 episodes with them sounds about right, I guess. I don't know, because isn't episode 7 left behind? I don't know, man. But I like the suburbs bit, with like the ice cream truck and everything, and with the sniper in the house. Yeah, that's a good part of the game. I like that section of the game. Yeah, and then my next note is Sam deaf in the show? Is that a change they've made that we've somehow not heard about, or we did hear about and I just didn't realise? Or do they just know ASL because that's a good skill to have when you're in a post-apocalyptic world and you're like, oh man, I need to be quiet. If only there was a way to communicate to someone and be quiet at the same time, but there's not. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm going to edit this now and put literally 0 effort, literally none whatsoever. So yeah, anyway, what did you think of the episode? Did you like it? That would be pretty cool if you did. For me. And then watch another episode of BoJack. Maybe watch an episode of iCarly. I've been rewatching a lot of iCarly as well. This past week, I bought the first 5 seasons on DVD. Season 6 just doesn't have a physical release, which is such a shame. It's an alright season. Season 5 is the worst. So anyway, that was my review of iCarly.
I better find her before these idiots kill her.